All right, hello, astronomy class. How is it going? I want to give you a quick update about what we're going to be talking about over the next few days. It's an exciting time in our class where we're getting to study some new things together. Our big question is what is happening in the universe when we look at what's around us and what's going on in the universe. One of the big questions is what's happening. We already kind of talked about what the universe looks like. We've talked about how big the universe is and what kinds of ways we can organize stars. But now we're going to start asking the question, well, what's happening? What is going on in the universe? And so we look at all these different pictures. We see a lot of different things going on. And a lot of them look really cool, really interesting. I mean, if nothing else, you can at least admit that this universe is a glorious universe. It gives great glory and honor to the one who created it. And Psalm 19:1 says that the heavens declare, they proclaim God's glory, and we can definitely see that as we look at all these different pictures. And we want to know, as people who study astronomy, can we learn what's going on in the universe and what's happening in the universe? And the answer is yes, we can. We can really learn a lot, and I want to go ahead and jump into that with you all. One of the things that is maybe surprising to me and maybe to you as well is that God is still creating new stars and planets. As we look out at pictures like this, we have evidence that shows us that there are new stars being formed, and we can have confidence in saying that God is still creating new stars and new planets. And we're going to look at that a little bit today and over the next few days of what we can tell God is doing in the universe and creating new stars. So we're turning our attention from organizing stars and from things about how we can measure different parts of stars. We're going to turn our attention now to more of a theory, which means more of an explanation. Instead of learning just the way that scientists work, now we're going to learn the way that scientists think. We're going to try to think like a scientist and come up with ideas and theories of how stars change over time. So we're giving our attention to the timeline of an ordinary star. And this is important here. Stars have a beginning point, they have a starting point in history. They have a relatively stable existence, meaning they just keep on going, keep on burning. And then they have an unstable conclusion. We're going to talk about all three of those stages in a star's life. So even though they're not living creatures, stars are often talked about in terms of their birth, their life, and their death. So I don't want you to get confused here. I'm not trying to say that stars are living or they're living beings because we know that they're not. But what I do want you to realize is that we're going to use that language sometimes that stars have a life and they have a death and they have a birth. And so we're going to use this metaphor even in the title of this current unit that we're in. And I don't know if I've shared that title with you yet, but the title of this unit is The Life Cycle of Stars. Again, we're trying to answer the question of what's happening in the universe, and there appears to be a life cycle of stars. And we're going to get into all this as time goes on. So, as we look at pictures in space, we're going to see evidence that stars have a birth, a life, and a death. And we're going to be using the HR diagram that we've already investigated and explored. This HR diagram is kind of like a roadmap. It gives us a map of how stars change over time. We can map it out and kind of predict how stars will change as they get older, as they die, what's going to happen to them. And this is kind of our roadmap for how stars change. So, this idea of stars changing is sometimes called, you can see it down here, stellar evolution. Stellar is a word that means star, and evolution is a word that means change. So, stars change over time, and sometimes you might see that referred to as stellar evolution. So, today I want you to work on exploring this question: how does God create new stars? That's going to be the question that we answer for the next 3 days. We're going to be exploring this and thinking about how God could be creating new stars in our universe today. So today you have an assignment on, I think it's a CAMI document. where I want you to go to a few websites and answer some questions as you read. Just try to do your best to read closely and take your time. Don't try to rush through it and get done because I know how that is. People want to get moments, but try to take your time and read closely. And let me know if you have questions. Post to the discussion board. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great day.